MLM for Gryffindor. Gabra. All right, so I've been up the last 3 or 4 hours preparing everything because normally I'll sit there and I'll write it with you guys. This time it's different. This is Gryffindor. Our MLM cube or grid. Man, once you're in Gabra, you have more discernment, and it's like we are required to ground and go back to our basics now that we have knowledge and like knowledge of our needs. So you will be required not to just do a grid for Gabra, but a grid for Malkuth and a grid for Yesod. One where you guys are doing your own and creative problem solving. So you will be doing 3 at the least. At the least. So let me give you some hints and advice. All right, so here's ours for Gabra, Gryffindor. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Because we firebombed the Clippeth, right? But it'd be better if we started full-on gridding it with the multi-level magic. And I'm going to be doing at least 20 to 30 layers in. So 20 to 30 different cubes for the underworld / Clippeth energy. And asking, like, commanding what it's going to require. So this is huge. This is like writing like 5 different light language grids. If you're doing light language, you should do a 144 or a master cube for the Clippeth underworld. Okay. So we go. So all of these are different Clippeth grids. Now, Star is an old soul. She's an old Slytherin witch that's been around. She's been attacking me in the Clippeth. Her higher self goes, I want to be a Hufflepuff. And her lower self's like, I'm a fucking Slytherin. I'm going to stab you. Okay? So there's a huge disconnect between her demon self and her lower self and her higher self. When you're in Gryffindor and Gabra, you're not allowed to have that split. You're not allowed to have demon selves. You have to have angel, master, reconciled. And you should be starting with that in Hufflepuff. This is like a divine human that doesn't live a binary existence of lies and not in the present moment. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples. Clippeth of Clippeth of Clippeth of Clippeth. Me, Mother Earth's Clippeth. Okay? I did it sometimes where I'd go to Father Earth's Clippeth. Okay? So I did it like 12 layers in, and then I did a whole other ball game. So this is like things that really need to be gridded into the Clippeth. Sanity, love, instruction and guidance, heal Mother Goddess, debts paid, aloe healing jelly, lava healing, compassion, grace, fair, aloe jelly healing. So this is the opposite, like the opposite energies of people stabbing you from behind. Yeah, there's nothing about backstabbing that's fair. Zero. There is zero justice, zero honor, zero integrity in going up from behind and stabbing somebody. Zero. There is nothing fair about that. Even if they did it to you. Zero. It's cheap. And a Hufflepuff would have had received Christ consciousness, and they, at that level, a Hufflepuff wouldn't even do it. That's behavior that a Slytherin does. So Mother Earth's Clipith, it's like, Ray comes in and heals, heals everything. And then responsibility, connect to source. Innocence. So it's like, get all the demonic energy out of the the underworld and like clean it up. So after my huge attack, my huge demon portal attack, Babaji would sit with me and we would start gridding it up the Clipith, and he would help every single grid that I did, started closing it up and healing it, closing it and healing it. No, this was before the firebomb. Okay, and then the crystal grids that I would set for the underworld Clipith, like that daily, built a seal. Now our collective firebomb did a huge number on it, but we need to get something way more permanent. So you guys are required, if you're gonna ever think that you would suffice for a Gryffindor, 15 to 20 to 30 different Clipith layers, okay? 20 to 30. I'm not joking. And here's the better part. A Ravenclaw would go upwards too. So they would like not be stupid and then go 20 to 30 layers going up in the higher realms, in the higher astral planes. Now, because those are filthy and they need to be cleaned out. So Ravenclaw is not stupid. They might not be at the front lines going punch, 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 but they're going to be doing 50 grids or 100. So that's the difference between a Ravenclaw and a Gryffindor. So they're going to be supporting in full force all the seraphim. That's like the, they're nerds, okay? They might be doms. That's a whole other ball. That's like a whole other faction of the Hashmalim. But like at the end of the day, they're the ones, even the doms, dude. The doms are going to sit there and write 100 grids before they even go to play. That's life. I've never met a dom in my life that wasn't a super overachiever brain nerd. Sorry. That's the way it works. So if you can see, I'm drawing on it now, and I'm drawing pictures. Now, because stars binary opposition is just like getting in the way, we're gonna grid her in the Clipith. So her Clipith grid is like intense. So we do a secondary thing like of healing. Like, so we do our first box, then we do our second box. And this is kind of like is this a 49 shape grid or like a 49 resolution? Or is it 144 resolution? Is it 1728 resolution? So each new box on the outside is a higher resolution layer. And then you can just imagine it being filled in with healing. And then we have all the Yoda balls. Yoda ball defense magic against her lower selves, okay? So it goes Star Fuentes, Helga Hufflepuff, Toph, Underworld. So if she's crazy in the underworld, we're gridding her to sanity. Do you see this? Discernment and sanity. So here, like with the Clipith grids, I become a little less creative and a more redundant. Like, you can use the same word 50,000 times. So like up here we have grace, but then I have all the different types of grace, okay? And then here goes every little ball is not evil energy. So it's like all the different, so we can create, here's our Yoda ball pie and in a pot of peas with Yoda balls inside of them. And that's like, this is gonna go towards you, Yoda balls. for your lower self. And then we go Star Fuentes, lower self vagina. And then it's protected by Yoda balls. And it's going to be icked out so that none of the stuff that she creates is evil or demonic. And then we've got truth, 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 truth. And then all these things are aloe jellies. Okay? And then we have angelite, angelite, angel, self-respect. And I think I wrote the word in self-respect like a million times. And then we go archangelite. When I started writing in the archangelite on her grid, it was like, huge shift. And then we got sacred. And then we got Hufflepuff, virtues. Turn star into Hufflepuff. Angelite, angelite. And then here we have marshmallow goo, salvio hex. Of course you can, if somebody's attacking you, it is your job to write grids for them, especially if you're doing it with intelligence. And then we have reverence, self-respect. Here you go, self-respect. And then angel, angel, angel. This is the energy she's going to be receiving. And then we go, she gets to play with the Yoda balls and add to it. And then Archangelite, more up here. Maybe we can train you into Archangel Raphael. Maybe. ... Yoda balls. And then divine light, lesson learned. So that's the other component to this grid. So it's like, this. I would absolutely include this as another layer to the Clipith. 100%. If you have left-hand path Slytherin Shadow Masters that like to shit all over the Clipith and act like a demon, like when you grid them into Archangel territory in the Clipith, like that goes boom, and then it's a Clipith grid because now their higher self is their lower self. We'll see. All right, and then we got, so we have the word grace all up in here, right? And then it's all the different types: harmony, healing grace, reverence grace, innocence grace. So it's everything I need from her in the Clipith while she's attacking me instead to counter it. You see? All right, anything else that's worthy of mentioning in this? Intelligence, sanity, and clarity. Man, very, very just sane. All right, simple. And then we go more Yoda ball, high magic. So this is the other component of the Yoda ball stuff that we're gonna get to, because you'll get to draw all the Yoda balls on here, on these things, and like we're gonna build contraptions. So when people are attacking, you have like adequate defenses set up. All right. So we did Clipith of the Clipith of the Clipith of the Clipith of Mother Earth's Clipith, and then we go whole other layer. Now this one's just like love, love, love. Then we go gratitude, blessing, sanity, peace. You can see how like under duress I was when I wrote all of these out as fast as possible, because it was just like any single grid I could get down on a piece of paper changed my fate. Mother Earth's Clipith of Clipith, clippeth of clippeth of clippeth of clippeth of clippeth. Okay. And I kept digging until the real dark shadow demon started coming out. And you could feel Mother Earth like ripping apart and feel the horror within the planet. So it took 2 months. 2 months for us to like do this work. And it was terrifying. It terrified the dragons. It terrified God. Like it is, if God was so great, it would have been done by now. You know. All right, so like there are more. Here are all the other ones I still haven't even gotten to. I just drew like I was like it was an intention to do it, and that still changed my fate. All right, so here's more. So sometimes I would go a layer into the clippeth, and I would ask a question, and I would go, how do I receive no cheap shots at me? So then the premise of that clippeth grid was a problem that needed to be solved, and so this is what was attracted as the answer. How do I receive no cheap shots at me? So true love, true love, true love, all in the physical. Okay. And then we go sanity, sanity, clear boundaries, protection, wisdom, cooperation. I receive sanity from people, and I receive pragmatism from people. I receive listening, I receive cooperation, I receive obedience. And then we go, I have lava. Pearly lava. Sometimes I can grid it with like healing lava. Sometimes it's like dragon lava. Okay, so like the lava energy in the clippeth is like the underworld is best magic. Because it's easy to clean up everything with the lava. And then we're going to have all the Yoda balls with cobra acid and lava also. So here is Kali Ren plus Mother Earth grid. And I know you can't see it because my thing went out. But it goes reasonable. We receive reasonable, and all of these are Yoda balls protected with Archangel magic. And then we have Archangel Lilith. Yeah, Lilith is now being titled as an archangel. I don't know if she already was, but now like we've done the work, you know. Rava, Seraphim, Hashmalim, Archangel Light. So it's like, make sure that all of these, like Mother Earth's physical is protected from the deepest realms of hell. All the good dragons. All the good ones. The ones that have done their cleaning and their jobs. Okay, and then we got Archangel Light and Wisdom at the top. It's titled. And it's Kali Ren and Mother Earth, Mother Awa grid. So we're doing like huge work. We have Archangel Zadkiel, Archangel Kamael, Archangel Lucifer, Archangel Dino Star. Lucifer's neat. And then Yoda Ball's defense system. So it's pretty intense. So this will be a whole other underworld. So like at this point, I feel like the underworld or the clippeth becomes the underworld. So should you guys say the clippeth or the underworld, make sure it's like the intention that it's the clippeth, but then rename it the underworld. Until you feel safe and sane, just saying the underworld until you feel it. Where that you're not going to get backstabbed by some weird shadow energy because you named it the underworld. So this is where Ravenclaw needs to like toughen up and get smarter, because they need to figure out if we name it the Clippeth, is it going to be different? Is it going to keep it as the icky clip? No, it can't do that, can it? Because it's still the underworld now. But like, if we name it the underworld, do we get knocked down or undermined because there's still Clippeth energy that is not included? And then there's that whole other component. So it's you have to figure out all the traps and all the loopholes for everything, and then figure out forever. It's going to be like computer hacking and computer building. You're going to have to figure out 90 million pieces of data just to make sure that this shit works and that we don't get screwed as we ascend into the higher planes of evolution. And here's the best component. You know when people say let go, let God? It's because they're Slytherins. Because Seraphim is like, let go, let myself. Seriously. So you have to like, you put 100% of yourself into it because you're not stupid. And then you let go, let God, and by giving it to a Hashmalim. And then send it up the tree. But you don't like, so the Hashmalim then goes, let go, let myself. And then puts 500 other pieces of work into it. And then an Heirloom. These are the higher level Ravenclaws. Now, they're definitely Doms, okay? Like, there's a difference. The Heirloom. Make them fly. The Heirloom. So the Hashmalim, they go, let go, let God, by giving it to the Heirloom. And the Heirloom goes, now, so I don't know if we're ever going to get any real heirlooms on this planet. I have a consciousness of an Ophanim, okay, in my higher consciousness, but my body is like Seraphim training, okay? Just so we get like the understanding. But like for a physically trained Heirloom, that's my future self. Like when I get stabbed in the gut as Rey, and then I get rebirthed into a phoenix, I'm showing up as an Heirloom. That's the deal. So, oh my God. So an that's when I'll earn the name Cully Raven. Something else, you know, something else. All right, so for yeah, you guys have no idea. So we've got, when you give it into so an Heirloom takes it and it goes, let go, let myself, and then adds 5,000 layers to it. And not just seriously. And that's Bina. That's the crazy. That's Maleficent, dude. That's Maleficent next to Hermione. You know, Maleficent into a dragon. And she turns a crow into a dragon. Okay, like, that's the difference between Hermione Granger and Maleficent. So, and the Ophanims can create worlds, and that's a whole other ballgame. So I have that level of consciousness in my soul, right? I might even have that Hayat HaKodesh, but it's like, that's just like fuzz dust. Most of it, like most of my soul consciousness is like that ophoneme. That's how I know how to create the downloads to regrid the planet to a Harry Potter world, is the ophoneme. So I see the planet as gray matter, and I can shift it, and then we can change it into Mother Awa Pandora with magic. And it's literally like, that's an ophoneme. So that's my, like, that's it's like a real soul, you know? Like somebody who's just gonna boom. All right, so, and then the archangel on top of the ophoneme is Ratziel. So when we talk about the ophoneme, and it's like, oh, fawn over him, there are a couple things. So an ophoneme, let me give you an idea. If you've seen the movie Ponyo, and you see the mother goddess, the delightful goddess of the sea, she'd be considered an ophoneme. And her lover is like a muggle. But in her love, she can create worlds by fawning over some dipshit muggle. Because that's who she wants to give to. And that's a divine femme energy. That's high intelligence. So it doesn't matter if you're the like, your love is just like a nothing. The ophoneme, you might even do it just to make him into a fool. So, but it's like, it ends up creating divinity. And there's nothing irreverent about it. You're doing it, you can be doing it to shame them for being assholes, but there's also like the flip side of the coin, which is like, look what the divine femme can do. Boom. Nobody's ever gonna like get that. It's when you see planets like birthing out of your brain, like popping out of your third eye, you're like, yeah, that's an ophoneme kind of thing. Oh man. All right. So we're in seraphim training here, because at the end of the day, the ophoneme needs to be the seraphim. Because the seraphim are the protectors of God, and they need to be well trained, you know? All right. So, wait. Ravenclaws are also part of the ophoneme tribe. So the Aralim, ophoneme, and the Hashmolim. That's Ravenclaw. That's huge. To get that access, it's like... So at the base will be, that's why it's called Ravenclaw instead of the Raven. So the Raven component is like the ophoneme and the Bina, or the Aralim. But the claw sits in Hesed. So it's like, yeah. Because like to be a high priestess of like the higher angelic orders, that's intense. So we will get there, but this is where like the Aralim are definitely going to be Aurors. And when I said that they're the Doms, they're Aurors. So that makes sense, doesn't it? And then the ophonemes that can like create, those are the lawmakers. So they understand divine order, and they understand divine order of like planetary consciousness. And so they have such high level thought that they can actually be like, oh, we understand the entire earthly system and how to deal with every species on this planet, or almost like a highest karmic good of all the species on this planet, because it's also pearl. And then also take into account all of the ecosystems that need to be created on this planet and sustained, and how to bring in new consciousness as well and new species, because dragons, just dragons. So like the lawmakers will be like high intellect, and that is what the left brain is for, not this muggle crap existence that everybody lives in Hode, and they go left brain is polluted. Yeah, your Hode is polluted, not the high mind left brain. That's the Ophanim consciousness. Man, that's like I got an A+ in symbolic logic and took my final in 15 minutes kind of thing, while everybody else took their test in 2 hours and didn't even come close to getting the same grade that I did. So like that's like high mind, left brain. Everything exists on a system of order and logic. Everything, including divine consciousness and building entire ecoplanetary systems. So that will be the job. And then you'll have the minister for magic that sits at the crown in Qatar. And that will be something else. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, so let's talk about Gaebra. So we've talked about the higher world and how exciting the higher worlds are, but here's the component about Gaebra. None of those higher worlds get created without a healthy Gryffindor. At all. Like, there will be no Minister for Magic. There will be no higher worlds. There will be no Mother Awa. There will be nothing. Nothing without a healthy Gryffindor. So all the Slytherins that like want peace on Earth and like Garden of Eden, that's being created by the Gryffindors. Not by the Slytherins. The Slytherins have no such power to create such things. Zero. So they're so low on the tree of life that they think that they're gods, which is why they're called the Elohim at the angelic force. They think that they're gods, but they have no Ophanim consciousness. They cannot regrid an entire planet all day long and then bring Bender powers and like Hermione powers to like and like look at Korra and go, everybody's gonna be an avatar in 5 years or less, but they're gonna be like Harry Potter avatar with wands and control over their magic. So no, they just don't have it. You have to really be connected to God, to real God, to be able to do that. You also have to be an alien. So the Ophanim are called the wheels. So these are like the people who can like get the wheel turning. All right. More on healthy Gryffindor. So yeah, even having an Ophanim level consciousness to build this the amount of torture, the amount of insubordinance, the amount of disrespect, the amount of cleaning out the hell realms, the amount of everything. It's been so gross. Like this, like I am Rey. I am Rey, sent from God to come to this planet to regrid it into something that doesn't look like a demonic shithole. Like, I don't care about one specific race of people. I'm sorry. I'm an international Kabbalah teacher. I have to deal with 50 different races and 5 million different languages. I care about a planetary regrid all day long. And like, that's where my priority is at. And I have to be Archangel Kamael also. It's pretty messed up, isn't it? All right. So yes, I am the master architect for the new planet with Mother Earth and Rava, my Rava, who's a ginormous cunty alien. Okay. Kabbalah 99, Geburah. We're giving clarity and direction and healthy boundaries. We're giving love and healthy boundaries. We're giving sanity. So this is in the mental emotional. All right, we have grape jelly healing. We have creation of independence for everybody. And then we have aloe jelly healing on the back end. Oh my God, I'm hearing we want those in the physical. Oh my God, they're there. Okay, so then we go compassion. Receiving compassion. Receiving non-violence. Receiving karma understanding. So this is the other component, is like a bunch of assholes think that they're allowed to like treat you like shit because they don't even understand their own karma. This is like a fat person going to the doctor and like bitching at the doctor all day long about the doctor not healing them after after so many trips, and the doctor's like, dude, I keep telling you to exercise and eat specific vegetables and juice. And the obese person goes, fuck off. You know, that person has no developed consciousness of understanding. They are complete narcissists and completely out of alignment. So to receive karma understanding, that's like, I want to say that's like me bitching about being poor because I don't charge for my work. But the real component is that this planet is so dumb that doesn't matter if I'd be popping wands out of my vagina. Like, I'd probably be shot before I got paid. Karma understanding. Are we going to go back to a third world country or consciousness? No. There is a difference starting at a Harry Potter level consciousness and then transforming the planet into Pandora. Because at that point, it is a developed mind over matter planet living in an eco-harmony. So no, it will not be considered third world. I mean, it is, but it's transcendent. Like, it's mastery over matter. So this is very different. So we don't put the cart before the horse. All right, grape jelly healing. Let me go, healing. Let me go, aloe healing. Yeah, because technology is evil, and we all know it. So might as well, we're going to develop biotechnology. With I will do it. Because I can. While you guys sit on your ass doing nothing and twiddling your thumbs, I'm gritting up the planet for ascension. And changing the oxygen content in the air to make people smarter. Okay. Non-violence, we're receiving not. Do you see how bad this is? Like, if I have to set this as a grid, receiving healing, I should have switched them, but we will see. And then receiving true friends. And this is the component about Gryffindor, like, they have to be true friends and like trustworthy. healing. All right. We're receiving wisdom. This is the spiritual world. Receiving wisdom, receiving listening, receiving obedience. So we're receiving wisdom from the higher guidance. We're receiving listening also from the higher guidance, so that there's spiritual cooperation. It's like this fallacy that you guys think that this planet was built off of a grid that was like spiritual cooperation. No. So this is like my first Kundalini awakening. Like I soared out of my body. I flew out of my body. I was under attack all day long. And I tried to get spirits to cooperate with me and with each other, and none of them would. And you go, oh, fuck. What is this? Because I belong to a planet that was like spiritual cooperation. You guys don't get it. This planet's like spiritual spite. Spiritual spite, dude. It's like some little movie star looking at a hunger strike artist and spitting on them instead of helping them. No spiritual cooperation. No, it's a hate crime. I was left to be murdered. So we should write a bunch of spiritual cooperation grids in the Clippeth. And the higher planes if you're a Hashmalim. But we'll get to that level when we're doing MLM Hesed and higher. Okay. Happy. I know. Grape jelly healing. There's a lot of and then aloe pearl healing jelly. So there's a lot of that aloe cucumber pearl jelly for Gryffindor. And there's a reason why. So that's the Repello Inimicum jelly. So it starts to build, it's like the color of sea glass almost. So it starts to cut cords and like builds personal divide layers between you and other individuals. And that's nice. Anything else on MLM? This planet is so embarrassing. Like, I definitely want to post this publicly. I don't know. Let's see if I get stabbed because I post this. Let's test the waters. Oh my god. You guys take, like, the people on this planet take zero responsibility for their astral selves, their thoughts, and anything. And it's pretty demeaning. And it's disrespectful to me doing all this work. And then they think that they can disrespect me because I'm nothing. Because they don't even have the level of intelligence to recognize what I'm doing. Or what I've been doing for, like, the last 2 years. So, and then they think they can stab me, and then they get, so the Dalai Lama has this weird shadow where he goes, yeah, that's my shadow, and I like it. So it's this stuff like that he wants to indulge. That's going to be cobra acid in the face. It's not like recognition and self-mastery and self-correction. No, it's recognition of shadow and then indulgence. Lust. That's Voldemort. That's gone. All right. I will be bullied by no Voldemort with a shadow like that. At all. And I will publicly out all of them. Coloran out.